All right, so I'm a little bit late on this, but I still wanted to make a video about it. This story is from last week, and I guess it's like a recurring thing, and I'm sure this is not going to be the last time we hear about this. If anything, it's only going to get crazier over the summer. I just want everyone to know, first off, that I think this is hilarious. And it's easy to say that because I don't live out here, but if you know anything about the South Bay, which is what this story is about, the South Bay is it's a very affluent part of Los Angeles County. I'm pretty sure it's in Los Angeles County. It's like the most southern western part of LA, beach towns, really rich people. So they don't have much to be upset about. So they have all unanimously decided, it seems, that they're going to be like angry about e-bikes and teenagers on e-bikes. And to be fair, they can be reckless in groups. I've seen it myself, kids swerving around. Here's the thing. First off, we're just going to watch the video. So, teens on e-bikes accused of terrorizing South Bay communities.
But they may also
KTLA 5.
10 e-bikes. Maybe
so, it opens up with this kid doing a rolling burnout on a Stark Varg. Now, a Stark Varg is like it's like a $14,000. It's not even an e-bike. So, it's funny that they are saying that it's like an e-bike. You know, you think of an e-bike, you're thinking of a pedal assist electric bike that costs like $1,500, like Rad Power, Specialized, something like that. This is an electric motorcycle, so I'm not sure why they're framing it as it being an e-bike.
Travel, but they may
also clearly
be creating problems for some.
That's a motorcycle. That's a dirt bike, right? I think we could all agree. This right here, a kid is on a dirt bike, right?
To be creating problems for
and he's doing a rolling burnout. And so they really got upset because he did a burnout through this mural. I guess they consider this a mural. It's just, I mean, it looks like part of the road. But, you know, that's a fair point. You could sympathize with that. That's like street artwork that's supposed to make the city feel like more of a place, you know, that's different, you know, whatever. Hermosa Beach is a nice place. I've been there a few times riding bicycles. I've never ridden my e-motos down there, my Suron or anything like that. So I don't even know what the reaction would be. But so he did that burnout.
Gangs of teenagers are using the e-bikes to get around, and neighbors tell us they're being terrorized by those teens.
And tonight the neighbors say they've just had enough. They want the police to do something. Rachel Menitoff is live in Redondo Beach with reaction. Rachel.
This is a problem, especially once school lets out for the summer. A lot of people tell us the e-bike.
There you go. I called it. When school lets out for the summer, it's going to be a problem. Well, yeah, first off, it will be. It's kind of hilarious that it's like packs of teenage e-bike gangs terrorizing these people.
Give kids too much freedom,
man,
and in some cases, it seems like they're abusing it.
So this is actually wild. That's an expensive loss. If they didn't end up getting this back,
Hermosa Beach
those are
police
expensive.
impounding dozens of illegal electric bikes.
And it's let's just take one good look at this right here. Does that look like an electric bike? You know, I mean, it's electric.
Teen
it is technically.
in cities
I
across
mean, can you even call that a bike though? That's a motorcycle, right? Right. I think that's funny. Why didn't they phrase it correctly? That's an electric dirt bike. It's a dirt bike. It's the same thing as if you had some kid riding like a 250 in the streets out there and was brat, but it's just quiet, right? It's the same thing. It's not like he's on an e-bike, like a cargo bike, like swerving around. I don't think that'd be as exciting of a story.
In cities across the South Bay. In videos seen online, groups of young people oftentimes
this one specifically went viral. And I'm sure that like we may or may not know some of the people involved with it. I don't know who this kid is. I have no idea. I don't know anyone who owns a Stark Varg either. So
have been known to accost,
but it is small community out here. It's a small world.
Kids, the opportunity to hurt themselves. There's no real regulations.
Shane McLaughlin says it's a trend that's tough.
He's right. And one other thing I really want to point out is that I do think that there should be at least like a 15 or 16-year-old age limit for Surons. I straight up think that. I think 16 is actually appropriate because first off, it should be like you need to like ride a bicycle for at least a few years before you can hop on one of these things. Because at least if you do that, you have some idea of what it's like to operate on on these things because they are powerful. Even a bone stock Suron is a lot of juice for a kid to just have, especially if they don't know how to ride a bike. So when they get on these things and they just start gassing it, I can kind of, you know, I'm more on their side on that.
You know, you have law enforcement with their hands tied. They're either doing serious crimes and having to work that, or they're trying to battle these violations with these youth.
South Bay police officers say with the backdrop of this beautiful beach strand and warm temps, they do see a rise in...
See, look, these are e-bikes, right? These are not what kids are terrorizing things on, is these bikes right here. That's an e-bike. That's an e-bike. This right here is probably an e-bike. The dead giveaway is like a bunch of well, I don't know if that's an e-bike, actually. These two look like e-bikes, so for sure. Well, they're riding together, and you don't want to ride with like someone who's on an e-bike when you're not on one.
Driving, especially...
You know, people, here's one thing I want to say. Is that people like these two cats right here can cause equal havoc just in their own way, right? Their own way. When you have non-experienced bike riders on e-bikes, they may not be teenagers, so it's not as easy of a story to gain, to get angry about, right? They could be just as problematic. They can be just as problematic, man, when they are riding around and they have throttles, thumb throttles, and they just are not good at riding bikes. So you take someone who's already not that good at riding a bike and you add an engine to their bike and a thumb throttle or a twist throttle, it's a recipe for disaster. I think what the next news story needs to be about these folks getting in the way.
The handy e-bikes. That's why they're cracking down.
Look at that, though, man.
With hefty citations.
That's got to be painful to watch.
Illegal off-road vehicles from the streets.
That's got to be painful to watch.
Those who engage in violence.
Getting away from you.
I feel like it's just a lot of freedom and a lot of responsibility to have one of those bikes because it's basically like a motorcycle.
Longtime Redondo Beach resident Michael Marino
I think
says
we could all agree that it is less of a bike and more of a moto.
Firsthand. It seems like they don't pick on people who would be able to take them. It seems like they'll kind of pick easy targets.
Over in Manhattan Beach, the city council actually banned...
Most of the kids riding this are like 120 pounds soaking wet. Like that, I don't understand how they're framing this to where these kids are that threatening. That's the funny part to me.
E-bikes on the green
belt.
I
don't know. Maybe I should take a trip down here and
15 miles
walk around.
per hour and fines of up to $1,000.
Even today, I experienced a few kids that seem to have a kind of a I don't care attitude.
Victor Leone says strictly enforcing the rules of the road is going to be key.
If you're driving a car and you get pulled over for speeding or drinking and driving, then you get taken in and they take your vehicle.
Right,
I think you do that a few times and they'll get the message.
Yeah, so there's that. There was another one. Oh, like here's this. This is actually ridiculous.
This person was just on a Vespa trying.
So this was like, I think this is like a mom.
The corner, and these kids were just weaving in and out of them.
There's like a mom on a Vespa and they're harassing her. Okay, this one is actually like it's very.
His ride and try to knock.
Let's take a look.
And one of the kids kind of drove on his e-bike toward me as if he was going to hit me.
So I think was it her on the Vespa? Is that her? It could be. I mean, first off, more hats off to her for getting out and riding her Vespa. That's cool. Is this the same kid? Oh no, that's not that Starkvarg. That looks like I don't even know what type of bike that is. Definitely some Sur-Ron kids.
Was just on a Vespa trying to go.
See, this is the main thing I want to point out though, is that South Bay is wealthy, right? So you have wealthy kids and wealthy people, and these wealthy kids have wealthy parents. Everybody's just got money, right? Everyone just got a ton of money, and the kids are being raised by their Sur-Rons. There's a place where you can actually just tell your kid to go outside because it's still safe. It's very safe out there. It's not like, South Central in LA or Long Beach or anywhere else in LA, really. It's actually just very safe. So it's an actual solution for some of these parents to just put their kids on an e-bike and just like tell them to go outside. Just like go outside, go ride with your friends, and then this happens, and this is where it ends up.
Trying to go around the corner.
And I also wonder, like, where do these kids get the example to do this? Like, there's not much content online, like big e-bike influencers, like just messing with people, right? Like just like harassing people. Is it just that's the mentality they fall into when they're riding in a group, maybe?
Around.
Redondo Beach residents describing scary interactions with teens on e-bikes.
Yeah, okay. Then they get into a little baby squabble. We're gonna skip that. But I think these are the kids on e-bikes. See, those are actual e-bikes. But yeah, and then I don't know what this was about. It's actually hilarious if we watched it, but we're not gonna watch it. We're gonna skip that. He said if you don't get on your knees, he's gonna beat his ass. Oh man, where were these kids when I was growing up, man? I would have had so many e-bikes. I would have had a collection. You said what? Walking on the Strand, and these kids on bikes keep on coming back and forth, harassing, trash talking on people, crisscrossing their bikes and almost hitting us. We need police protection in the Strand.
This video posted by a couple walking on the popular Strand at night when they crossed paths with this group.
They were just screaming profanities, and two of them moved into our lane. You
can hear him calling Redondo police.
Calling the police. Oh, they got their lights off too. They're really like a little e-bike mob. See, it's like if I had to pick a side, right? I'm on the side of the people who are like, stop these mobs of kids. But it's also like they got no problems out here, man. This is the biggest thing that they could worry about is trying to tell kids what to do on one hand, but on the other hand, they're just being like little punks. So even I'm sure like if there was like a middle ground, they'd still just move to try and get the kids and ban the bikes. I think that's what they ultimately want to do. They just want to ban the idea of having kids on Surons out there. I bet even if they weren't being punks, if they were just riding Surons or e-bikes, e-dirt bikes specifically, like e-dirt bikes, let's get that clear, because it's not just e-bikes these kids are riding. They would want them banned anyway, because the feeling of having someone whiz by you on an e-moto is uncomfortable. I could agree with that 100%. Whenever I'm chilling and I had someone fly past me on an e-bike that's like faster than regular ones, or an electric scooter. So have you ever been standing somewhere and someone just whizzes past you on a bird scooter, and you can tell they don't really know what they're doing, but they're going like 20 on a sidewalk past you, and it's like, whoa. I'm very careful when I ride on the sidewalk. You guys see me on video. I navigate around people. I slow down when I'm about to pass somebody. I don't fly past them. So I'm sure a lot of these kids fly past people at full speed, and that's where the problem all started, if I had to guess.
Photo of a group blocking the Trader Joe's parking lot says they came.
And here's another funny one, I think, kind of, is like, this is kind of just a photo of a bunch of kids together, and they frame it as like they're blocking a parking lot. I think it's just a bunch of the kids just sitting there, really. I don't know. That one's
lot says they
one's a little weird.
At her.
I mean, I'm a 75-year-old lady that you're going to be trying to hit, in a parking lot.
I mean, we could all agree that's terrible, though. You should not be. Why are you messing with an old lady, man? Go, go find another group of kids to mess with them.
And then the last one that came through the group hit her in the back.
Pushes me down, and I go down, and then he starts to go after them.
Stomp on
Crazy.
me.
I did.
So, I mean, on one hand, it's like, these people are very wealthy, so they are, on one hand, just trying to control their little neighborhood, which is fine. They live there, they own houses there, whatever. But they also want to control a lot of things. And part of that includes stopping kids from riding Surons and e-bikes. I'm sure they wouldn't just stop at the electric dirt bikes, but I have no doubts that they would move to ban e-bikes entirely. So get in the comments, what do you guys think? Are e-bikes running amok where you live? I don't know.